Good morning everyone. In today's session we are going to see about PPP. PPP is nothing but a point-to-point protocol. So this protocol it comes under the TCP/IP protocol to connect one system with the another system. Then normally a computer use this point-to-point protocol to communicate over telephone network or the internet. Then so this PPP works in the data link layer in the internet. That is, if you want to connect a personal computer which is present in your home to an internet, it is connected via Ethernet, which is going to provide a high level functionality like connection management and parameter recognition. And this point-to-point data link control will have one sender, one receiver, one link. It is easier than the broadcast links. So one-to-one, which will be having a one sender, one receiver, and a link. So no media access control is required here. No need for explicit MAC addressing. For example, dial-up link, ISDN link. So no need of media access control here. Then popular point-to-point and high-level data link control protocols or PPP, which is point-to-point protocol, HDLC, which is high-level data link control. These protocols are often be ran over other data link technologies, providing the best of both worlds. That is, for example, PPP, OE, then HDLC encapsulation by Ethernet. Then what are the requirements of PPP? So we have to see what are the functionalities and how these PPP will function. So normally the works of PPP includes packet framing, that is encapsulation of network layer datagram in the data link frame. Then multi-protocol, that is it carries network layer data of any network layer protocol at the same time. It also provides the ability to demultiplex it when it is going upwards. That is, when a node is sending a packet from network layer, when it comes to the data link layer, it is going to multiplex it, and at the receiving end, it is going to be demultiplexing it. So it has to have some bit transparencies, must carry any bit pattern in the data field. Okay, so that is called as bit transparency. So this is also a function of PPP design. Then error detection will be there. There will be error detection, not correction. Okay, so only it is going to detect the errors, but not going to correct those errors. Then apart from that, it has connection liveness, means it will detect signal link failure to network layer. When any signal link failures has been detected, it is going to inform that. Then network layer address negotiation, means endpoint can learn or configure each other's network address and other characteristics. So it has to be done. Then authentication in the sense who or that is who has to uh, access, who has the access for that particular data has to be there, will be checked by the authentication. Then management features, that is loop back detection, will also has to be done. Loop back detection in the sense it provides protection against loops by transmitting loop protocol packets out of ports on which loop protection has been enabled. That is, it is going to provide protection against loops, which will be done by transmitting a loop protocol packet out of the ports where the loop protection has been enabled. So that is called as loop back detection. That will be done. Then non-requirements, that is what are the things not required for PPP. No error correction or recovery, will be done here. So no, already we have seen that only error detection will be done. So no error correction will be done by this PPP. Whereas modems do one layer called FEC. FEC in the sense it is called as forward error correction will be done. Forward error correction will be done. Then no flow control will be maintained. That is, it doesn't do any flow control. That is, it can the flow of order of packets will differ. It doesn't check the order of packets, so that is out of order delivery. It can allow out of order delivery also. Okay. So error recovery, flow control, data reordering is not required for PPP. Then we are going to see about PPP data frames, how the data frames will be there. So it will have a flag which is called as delimiter. Then here we don't have any address or control. Okay, it is ignored. Whereas we have a protocol which can be a PPP, LCP or IP, it can be IPCP. Means these are some of the protocols which are used on in the upper layer protocol, which is used for frame delivery. Okay, so here we don't need any address or control word. So in frame data frame we have a flag, then address is ignored normally, then control is also ignored, then there has to be a protocol. It is very important. It can be anything like PPP, LCP, IP, internet protocol, or somewhere. Okay, then there will be info in the sense it is going to check the upper layer data being carried out. The info is used for upper layer data, that is, it is used for checking whether the upper layer data can be carried or not. Then there is a check, it can be 1 or 2 bytes. So what it does means it does the cyclic redundancy checks which is used for error detection. So it has to be cyclically checking for errors, so that will be done by the check field. Okay, so both ends we have flags, and address and control are not necessary. There should be a protocol. Then info in the sense which will be having upper layer data which is being carried, and check is there for cyclic redundancy check for error detection. Then byte stuffing. See, we have to know about this byte stuffing. Byte stuffing is nothing but adding an extra bit. It's called byte stuffing. So in PPP we'll be sending byte by byte. See, if you want to send a data which is having a bits like 0, 5 ones or 6 ones, then a 0. So it is a flag byte pattern which has to be sent. Okay, from the sender side. So all the bytes will be going to the receiver end, but we'll be adding an extra byte which is called as byte stuffing while sending those data to the destination. So in the destination, this stuffed byte will be taken out and the original data will be receiving at the other end. So this is called as byte stuffing. Then at last we are going to see about PPP data control protocol. What is that? PPP DCP, that is PPP data control protocol. Before exchanging network layer datas, data link peers must do two things. One is configure PPP links, the other one is configure the network or learn the network. So these two things has to be carried out before exchanging the data in the network layer. What is configuring PPP link means? It has to be, that is, maximum frame length has to be configured and authentication has to be given. Who has to who has the access over the data. Then second one is configuring the network or learning the network has to be done, which is done for internet protocol. That is, it will carry the IP control protocol which is called as IPCP. IP control protocol, which is called as IPCP messages, then to the IP address, concerned IP address, to the concerned IP address. Then where does this PPP gets used? So in dial-up connections, PPP are used over the modems. Okay, while we are getting the dial-up connections, in olden days they used to get the dial-up connections for telephones. So where PPP can be used, then ADSL, that is PPP over Ethernet. So point-to-point connection using a Ethernet can be using this PPP, that is point-to-point protocol. Then why we are using PPP means basically it is used for framing, then for efficient transmission of data from one place to another place, authentication, address segmentation. So these are the main purposes that we are going to use the PPP. So PPP is nothing but point-to-point protocol, which is used for framing efficient transfer of data from one system to another system, then for authentication. For this purpose, this PPP has been used. Okay, thank you.